Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Fall Equinox Masterclass called Balance Point. I'm so glad to see you. And as you come in, it would be really wonderful if you want to share where you are beaming in from. Welcome, Cynthia, Joseph. It's lovely to see those who are willing to be on video. Tyler, good to see you, my dear. Long time. Welcome, Layla. It's really a sweet way to feel the global community, the connection that we can share through this positive use of technology. So if you pop your location in the chat, it's really wonderful to just feel everyone. Welcome, Elia, Jim. Hi, everyone. Mary from Baja, Mexico. Cynthia's coming from right near me in San Rafael. Keely from Louisiana. Wow. Layla all the way from the south of England. So wonderful. Dana from the Canadian Prairie Hills. Laurel here with me in California. Karen from Atlanta. Sharon, New England. Wow, for all of those receiving the recording later, you can feel this web of light we all are forming together across the world as we join in these circles. Welcome, Fatima and Amal. Good to see you. So some of you have been a part of my turn of the wheel events, calls I've done on these high holidays before. The last one I did was the summer solstice, and that was when the solar light was at its pinnacle, the greatest amplitude of solar light on the planet, here at least in the Northern Hemisphere, on June 21st. And today we find ourselves on the other part of the wheel, spinning around towards the darkest and longest night of the year, but we're right in the middle. We're at the balance point at the fall equinox, also known as Mabon in ancient cultures. And this is when light and dark are equal, when they're held in balance. The days and nights are equal in length. And it's a very ancient holiday that many beings around the world celebrated. It's also a time of harvest and gratitude for all that we have, all that we've benefited from in the summer, all the seeds we've planted that have blossomed and the fruits that we've harvested. And you can take this as a metaphor for our growth in our lives. So I'm going to give a little bit of an overview to all of you about why we gather on such a powerful day. And then I'll give you a map of what we will be doing in this class today. I usually don't even call these gatherings classes. It feels a little bit mainstream and mundane. For those who know me well, I think of this more as a sacred time at a time to dive deep into the mystery, a time to open our hearts. And on these turn of the wheel events, like the solstice and the equinoxes, there is support with all the astrological powers that be. There's support with the collective consciousness to go very, very deep in our collective work. So that's one of the reasons I've chosen to do this event today. And then you can see in my background this beautiful little sacred geometry. And I call this event Balance Point, to honor the equinox and honor the balance, and also to call us into center collectively, to call us back to the center point between all polarities, all opposites. And you can see in this geometry, we have a Vesica Pisces, that's the two circles intersecting. And then we have a solar cross where the vertical and horizontal axis are equal. And today we're going to do some inner work. We're going to do some inner journey work together, a guided meditation. And then we'll deepen a bit with these geometries and how they live as more of a felt embodied experience within us, and how many cultures throughout time have used symbols like this and pointed to this beauty of coming into center, coming into the balance point. We have cultures like ancient Buddhist cultures that talk about the middle way, the Taoists that talk about the holy Tao, the flow, the way, which is always in harmony between the yin and the yang. And then there's the path of the sacred heart, the center point of us all. So today we're going to do a little bit of exploration, not so much a class where you're going to need to take a ton of notes or study with your intellect, rather a felt experience for you to have as an embodied knowing in yourself of this balance point. So as everyone continues to enter, just make sure that you have a comfortable place to sit, to meditate, and a journal for some notes. Often out of that meditation and guided inner journey space, there'll be messages or images that you might want to track and to remember. And I like to work also with water, one of the sacred elements. So if you can have a glass of water, I have my water and my tea here, and we're going to dive in really soon. So make sure you don't have to get up and get anything. Let's just take a couple deep collective breaths. Greetings, everyone. Feels so good to be with you. I'm just going to put those who are willing to be seen in my gallery view. Welcome, Josephina, Josiane, Alexis, Evelyn, Lori. Oh, it's so beautiful to see those who are here. Paula, long time, beloved. Oh, and there's many more who are feeling a little shy, a little camera shy. So we're gonna open this field by honoring the elements and the directions. And I'm just seeing more and more beloveds I recognize coming in. It touches my heart so much. Welcome, Zunera. So I'd like you to consider that this is a practice that's been done for thousands and thousands of years, that we humans have honored earth and the elements and the directions from ancient times, indigenous cultures, and honored their connection to all these things, not outside themselves, but even within themselves. So as I invoke the directions and honor the elements, I invite you to feel how they live within you. So let's take a deep breath and close our eyes for a moment together and just feel your central channel. Feel your back, feel your breath deepening, and feel your hands just resting on your lap. And then we're going to bring our left hand into a soft cup. This is called a mudra, and just bringing that like a chalice or a cup to the hara, the dantian, or the sacral chakra right under your navel, and just feel this invitation to drop inward and downward and feel the breath deepening. And then we're going to bring our attention to our right hand, and we're going to lift that up with our arm almost like a blade or a sword. And just even in this simple mudric gesture, we're feeling this balance point between the receptive feminine, like the chalice, and the active and dynamic masculine, like a sword. Even just to begin, just feel those two frequencies within you. They live within all of us. Deep breath, and then we're going to reach up with that blade or that sword mudra, that hand of light, up above our crown, as if we could tap into this chakra outside of our physical body, the soul star, and plug in and feel now this invitation to bring the light down like a vertical axis, down from the soul star, down to your crown, and just feeling this vertical beam of light entering into the light sensitive parts of your brain, scrolling slowly down through your skull, breathing and receiving this deepening embodiment practice to come into alignment with the vertical axis of your being and bringing that all the way down through the heart, through the organs. And this is just to get ourselves really present as that hand scrolls all the way down to touch the other one, holding below the navel. Deep breath, and then rising the hand back from the lap, under the navel, back to the heart. And think of this as your center point, your balance point. Now we form a horizontal axis by just scrolling our palm of light across one shoulder and then back through center. And feeling into this 4-directional prayer, these axis points, as that hand of light then circles around, one big circle, all the way around, and then back down the center, bringing it to the heart and meeting it with the other palm in Namaste Mudra. So this shape, this solar cross, Celtic cross, Nordic sun icon, this circle with an equally balanced cross, feeling that energetic within you right now. And we're going to call in the directions and honor the elements. You can slowly open your eyes, and we're going to speak first to the east gate. In different traditions, they might call these directions and elements in different orders. In the mystery school tradition that I've been trained in, we honor the east, the place of the rising sun. So just feel wherever you are, you can kind of intuit where the east is, and feeling the new dawn, new possibility, the golden light that showers earth every day from our beloved sun. So we call in the place of the ancestors, the wise ones, the wisdom keepers of the east, of the golden dawn. And we honor the element of air. And for a moment, take a deeper breath and feel the prana, the oxygen, the life force, just filling your own body. In Spiritu, in ancient Aramaic, spirit and inspiration are the same frequency in language semantically. This breath of life, this spirit of air. We call in the elemental beings of air, the winged ones, and we call in the angel of air to purify our mental body, to keep us clear and bright during this time together in this sacred ceremony. And we ask that the winds of change blow with grace through our lives and through the collective. So we hail and welcome air, welcome east. And now feeling yourself traveling around that wheel, that solar cross, and we come to the south and we honor the element of fire and feel all the beneficent, benevolent properties of fire in your life, the creative fires of your will, your passion, your drive, the fires that spark imagination, your chi, your Shakti fire of aliveness, health, the fires that burn through stagnation, that burn through old patterns. We welcome this place in the south. And for those of us living in the northern hemisphere, we think of the warmth near the equator. We think of Pele and the volcanic activity in the tropics. We feel into this fresh life, the fire that may destroy, but then birth the world anew as the volcanic eruptions build new earth. So let us hail and welcome fires, and the highest octave of this elemental magic, the angel of fire, sanctify our spirit on this day. Sanctify our spirit. Hail and welcome south, welcome fire. And now we flow around this wheel, bringing in the direction of the west and feeling where you are, where you live, where the west direction is. Where I am, west is right near the ocean. It is honoring the element of water. Here in California, we look out over the vast Pacific. So let us call in and honor water, all the sacred waters in our lives, not just the rivers, the streams, the oceans, the rain, all waters, the tears, the sweat, the blood, the waters within our being. And as we honor water, we honor memory, the record and memory in water, the magic of water. We invoke the angel of water, purify our emotional bodies. May these waves be soft and gentle. May our emotions come to be equanimous, like a still pond that we can navigate smoothly in our lives. And so we hail and welcome West, welcome water. Take a deep breath, and now we come around the wheel to the north and feeling where you are, where north is to you, feeling what north resonates as in your heart. And in my tradition, we honor the element of earth in the north. We honor the mountain. We honor stability, ground, terra firma, this force that sustains us and nurtures us, Gaia. And we honor all of her creatures, the four-leggeds, the winged ones, the swimmers, the crawlers. We honor the plant kingdom as well in the north, all life on the body of this planet. We give thanks for this bounty and beauty here on Gaia. And we bow to the direction and honor earth in the north, honoring also the purification of our physical bodies, our structure, sound, strong. So hail and welcome north, welcome earth. And finally, we come to center. And I would like to invite you with me just to bring your hands to your own heart, center of your heart chakra, and feel the center of this wheel as your very own heart in balance between all directions. And in the center point of the wheel, we honor the element of ether, the fifth element, the mysterious, magical element within all life, within all other elements, the unquantifiable, unmeasurable mystery of ether. And here, as we call in the center, feel into those forces, those beautiful, benevolent forces that are loving us unconditionally from beyond 3D, beyond the five senses. As we invoke ether, we invoke the angelic realm, our guides, our ancestors, those who are here for our highest optimal good and awakening. And we honor the vast mystery of spirit, great spirit, Wakantanka. Just feel into whatever names you use to honor source, the divine, the mystery, this universal love, the fifth element. And we welcome center, ether. We gather the quintessence, the beauty in our hearts. I bow to you and I thank you for participating in this ancient tradition of honoring the directions and the elements. And now I'm going to invite that we take a moment and to feel into our personal intention. Perhaps you've come because something that you read or heard resonated with you. Perhaps you have been following me for a while and you know, oh, I'm going to get to go deep and pray and meditate today. And I don't even really know what this one's about, but it's good to gather with like-hearted community. And perhaps there is a prayer or an intention that you're bringing here. So take a moment, you can close your eyes if you wish, and just feel what you are desiring to bring most into balance in your life on this equinox. Really feel the areas of your life where you know you have been receiving a good rubbing or soul polishing for your growth, the pearl of your soul. and feel where you're being guided to find more harmony, more balance. The relationships, the areas of your life, and all your creations and all your reflections. Where are you asking for more balance? And you can just, for now, keep this present in your heart. And later we're going to have an opportunity to share and use the chat to do so. But I wanted you to tune into this personal intention before we take an inner journey. And then when we come back from this inner journey, I'm going to invite us all to weave our voices. That's definitely one of my favorite parts of these calls, where we can share our magic and our wisdom and our reflections. So how are we all doing? Are we ready to go deeper? You ready to go inward? Okay. So once again, I use tools from the Mystery School, and one of them is mudra. We're going to rub our hands of light together, and I'm going to invite that we first open them like a cup or a lotus. This is called Padma mudra. And you can close your eyes with this mudra and just feel this receptive nature, to be like the empty cup, the empty vessel to receive, to give our minds to our hearts today, to quiet the inner narrative and just receive through frequency. And as we hold this cup in front of our hearts, you can feel the lifting of the petals of your own heart. It is said that at a certain point in one's spiritual evolution, the small self or the personality turns its attention like petals of the heart upward to receive this inner sun, to truly drink in this blessing. And this light, this blessing is for everyone. It's in all of us. This receptivity to grace. So my personal prayer is that this call be of great service to our collective receptivity to grace, to our expansion of our hearts, to our capacity to hold light and share light, that we raise our frequency and we come into deeper balance as an embodied knowing. That's my personal prayer for us, my personal intention. So let's lift this cup now to our third eye. And I'm going to invite that we activate the light sensitive parts of our brain here. You can lightly touch your brow with your thumbs as you hold this mudra, opening the eye that sees beyond the veil, activating the pineal, the pituitary, the hippocampus. You might feel a gentle tingling, breathing deeply into the vast inner light, opening to receive the language of light, our divine mother tongue. And now we lift this cup once again to that soul star above our crown. And as we do so, we can lift our hearts and our chins, and then slowly opening the mudra like wings of light and bringing our hands back slowly down, palms heavenward to about heart height. And just feel, as an embodiment practice, once again, this expansion at the heart on the horizontal axis. Imagine a ripple radially, not just side to side, a ripple of light horizontally. As we do this great work together, we ripple into the collective. One more deep breath, and then letting our hands of light gently come back down to our laps. I invite you to stay with a soft, open palm position of receptivity, and to lean a little bit more back, bringing the crown of the head back and the heart, the sacred heart, the heart chakra forward. Breathing into the center of the heart, and feeling this invitation to expand into the place deep, deep inside the heart, finding this breath that opens even the back heart, melting away what we might call shielding or crystallization. Just walking in this world, at times we can feel the need to armor up. And today, in this loving container, let us soften the shields of the heart. Breathe into the soft beauty of the heart space. And now with your inner vision, just allowing your gaze to scroll down from the heart, down through the solar plexus, down through the belly, back down to the power center under the navel, all the way to the root. Deep breath, feeling gravity holding you. We can take a couple sighs here, unfurling any contraction in the tail. It is safe to fully land in this body at this time. Deep sigh. One more sigh, and imagining this root just softening with like a ruby red light glowing. Beautiful. Relaxing deeper into your seat, allowing this downward, inward gravitational pull, the feminine spiral of magnetism to pull you towards center without collapsing. Feeling as we are relaxing and landing and rooting, taking up more residence in this body. We are still lifted in our hearts, buoyant in that solar light, kissing the heart. So there's these two forces coming into balance. The feminine, deep inward, downward, gravitational spiral towards center, surrendering. And just breathing and inviting yourself to surrender even 5% more, perhaps by allowing a little bit of subtle movement with the breath. And we're going to honor this feminine energy by also visualizing this beautiful spiral. And it's spiraling downward towards the root, and then spiraling down, the energy of this beautiful red light spiraling down through what you're sitting on, down through the floor, the foundation of the building you're in, and connecting with earth. And for a moment, just connecting with earth as a feminine element and feeling the fecundity of earth, and feeling earth as this kind of great mother. And as we connect with the element of earth in this feminine essence energy, let us also now connect to the waters, even below the ground, the flow of her waters, and feel her body and your body, her waters and your waters. And as you breathe and honor and acknowledge the yin energy in you, and just allowing your body to be soft if there's a subtle wave, undulation, or spiral. Feeling this invitation, especially for those of us who have been very in our yang, very driven, very busy. This is a time to just soften, softening. breathing and receiving. It's like mana, nourishment, energetic holding, the sweetness of the feminine. And bringing your attention to your left hand and your left arm, and just gently dropping and feeling your fingertips reaching towards earth, and feeling almost this invoking of this spiral and this feminine flow energy on the left side of your body, feeling how you may have been moving through your world out of balance in your feminine. And in this moment, bringing yourself into deep honoring of your feminine. And there's some qualities you might feel that really reflect that for you. Softness, flow, surrender, receptive, and just allowing your hand of light to move in a way that feels soft and flowing. And it might wish to stay towards the earth in a deep honoring of that gravitational magnetic pull, the feminine, or it may wish to just bless or touch part of the body in deep compassion, in honoring of the feminine that perhaps has been not listened to, a part of you that may be hurting or tired or sore. And just slowly bringing that hand of light up to touch the heart chakra. And if it is in wisdom and truth, to bow towards the feminine aspect of your being, whether you were born a male or a female, to really honor your feminine essence, perhaps the more emotional, intuitive side of your being, the side that is less structured, the side that is more spontaneous. Feel into what your feminine is asking of you to come into more balance. Just deeply listening. You may even receive a symbol or an image. You may see her even archetypally as a goddess or a beautiful being energetically, just honoring your feminine. You can call it your sacred feminine, your divine feminine, your feminine essence. One more deep breath with that left hand of light, and then slowly bringing it back towards your lap, resting it. And bringing your attention now to your right palm of light. Taking a breath, imagining this brightening of that inner light as you reach up again, this time a bit at a diagonal, and imagining you're invoking the sun, the winds, the yang, the fire in the air, feeling yourself tapping into this kind of bold, dynamic energy, the strength. You could think of it almost like this sword quality of clarity, decisiveness, thrust, vector, drive, action, creating out in the 3D through structure. Feel the honoring of this side of your being and this more solar essence. And you can imagine pulling that solar light down through the right side of your body. Feeling where you may or may not be out of balance with your masculine side. And just honoring deeply, no matter if we're in a very feminine form or born in a very masculine body, we all have this energy, this essence. And feel if there's an invitation to bring more structure, more clarity, more completion, more action into our lives. Feel the blessing of this sword quality, precision consciousness, diamond mind clarity. Feel if there's a part of the body that has either been collapsed and not feeling strong, and bring that hand of light to that part to infuse it with this solar power. Or perhaps if there's a part that's been on overdrive, making a new agreement with the self, honoring to bring this masculine drive into balance. And bringing that right palm of light to your heart center for a moment, just holding the heart. Honoring the sacred masculine, the divine masculine, the masculine essence within all of us. And if there's a personal prayer for this to come into balance in the self and in the collective, really amplifying that in this field on this day. And now opening once again both hands of light like those wings with the hands heavenward, and feeling in the left hand this sphere. And the sphere could be a Gaia emerald green sphere. And feel in the right hand a cube, a luminous golden cube. And then we're going to slowly bring these hands of light together, almost like a Qigong exercise of pressing our palms of light slowly together in front of the heart and the solar plexus, imagining the cube and the sphere coming together between the emerald green chakra of the heart and the golden solar plexus, balancing love and power, where love and power are one. And then we can press our hands of light all the way together and interlace our fingers, the right and the left overlapping with these interlaced fingers, create synapses in our brain that help balance the two hemispheres of the brain, bringing your awareness back up into the inner eye behind your brow. Perhaps is full of light and color, slowly forming a golden infinity loop between the right hemisphere and left hemisphere of your brain. Like an inner massage, right brain, left brain, corpus callosum activation, igniting the higher mind, higher wisdom, sometimes called Buddhic. And then reversing that flow of the infinity loop and really feeling that inner activation. Beautiful. Unfurling the clasped fingers and clasping them the opposite way. You may have been asked to do this in yoga classes. It often feels a little awkward. Just feel that. And again, this time we're bringing that infinity loop into the heart and feeling the right side of the body and the left side flowing in balance between our masculine and feminine essence. The right brain is connected to the left side of the body, the feminine way of seeing more diffusely, seeing interconnectedness, patterns. The left brain is connected to the right side of the body, the masculine side that is more rational, logical, that sees with hyper focus, hawk, clarity. And as we do this subtle inner blending, we're activating more balance, a healthier way of perceiving in balance. Unfurling the clasped fingers, rubbing the hands of light together for one moment, and then placing them over your closed eyes. Deep breath. expanding into this inner vision, visioning into the possibility of walking completely in balance between your masculine and feminine essence. And then brushing these hands of light up your brow, over your crown, blessing down the back of your skull, all the way around the base of the skull, bringing these fingertips of light forward, over the shoulders, back to the high heart under the clavicle, and placing one palm on the heart chakra and the other on top of that palm, that hand. Breathing and holding the center point, the sacred heart. As we rest in the center, just noticing if there is a feeling tone, a color, or perhaps you're receiving images, symbols. Some of us receive visions in these journeys about our wholeness, our balance. Imagining yourself sitting in the seat of your own regal sovereignty, not ruling over anyone else, just simply free and sovereign to yourself in this balance, feeling this nobility. In the balance point of the heart, we also acknowledge the above and below. We've been working with the right and the left. So breathing into the heart and feeling where you are in balance between your spiritual life, your connection to the mystery, source, the divine, magic, spirit. Some of us are avid dreamers, intuitives. We feel very tapped in with our upper chakras. We are very lit up in our spiritual lives. And some of us are very grounded in the practical and the material, in manifesting, making it matter, bringing it into form. And just feel where you are in this balance between the divine and the embodied, the material, even the primal. Just taking a moment with love and compassion towards the self, even if you are aware of pain around a certain aspect of imbalance, holding the self as innocent and beloved, breathing and just feeling the prayer to come into balance between your spiritual access, the upper realms, the upper chakras, and this world. And just feel if there's resistance. Some of us who consider ourselves very spiritual might feel like, gosh, I was born on the wrong planet. This place is really intense. I don't know if I want to come all the way down and really get present and really ground here. So with compassion for the parts that haven't wanted to fully walk in full soul residence in the body, just feel where you are in that vertical embodiment, where you are, if there's a preference around ascension rather than grounding, or a preference around being grounded and practical rather than diving into the mystery and the unknowns. And just holding the center point, these hands of light on your heart. We're going to feel this balancing coming into our heart. As one who had tattooed little wings on my ankles earlier in my life, it has been a huge learning for me to come all the way down. And the blessings have been so many, to be here with others, to actually feel others, to have more empathy, compassion, to be present in the present moment. So I feel this invitation for all of us to find those places that we resist and love them. And perhaps letting one of your hands move even to a lower chakra, to the power center, and just feel where you are in regards to balance of right use of will, of power, the ability to respond to your life, to be a sovereign being, fully embodied, truly alive. We're being asked to come into responsive, empowered presence rather than reactive or collapsed energetics. Just feel how that informs your posture to activate that solar plexus in love. Deep breath, and then feeling the energetics moving down to the sacral chakra, the hand of light, now holding the hara, the womb space for women. Breathing into this place of trust and intimacy. Breathing into this watery chakra of flow. I trust and move with the process of life. I am in flow. Feeling this invitation to bring more of your soul residence down into the risk of intimacy, into me, see. To be present and in flow with others, responsive from this feeling center where our intuition, so much of our magic, especially in the collective feminine with womb wisdom. But for all of us, it's the seat of our chi, our shakti. And just feel the invitation to really take up more residence there. Beautiful. And now releasing the hand that's been on the heart and bringing it slowly down to meet the other on the sacral chakra in a downward triangle. 4 fingers and thumbs come together. Feeling again this energy landing in the root, in the pelvic bowl, all the way down. Feeling for some of us how comfortable this is, and for others how it may be foreign to really land all the way down. Finding that balance between the above and the below. Feeling how when our root is brought into full consciousness, it is our vitality, our health, our strength, our primal embodiment. You can feel how it informs your legs, feeling all the way down to your feet and your toes, ruled by the root. Feel the animal of your being receiving this blessing of full presence. And as we embody this beautiful body temple with our solar light, our soul essence, we come into greater levels of health, stamina, power, sensitivity. Our kinesthetic channel opens. So feeling the blessing, softening the old contractions around fear, that it's not safe to be fully embodied. Allowing the animal tail to soften fully. And then releasing the hands of light onto the lap and just feeling your posture. Feeling if you can feel the balance between all that inner light, the nobility of your spirit, and what it is to be really present in the body, humble and noble, humble nobility, noble humility. We bring our hands of light up to the heart in Namaste one more time, just honoring this dance between the above and below. So much power and beauty in the balance point. Taking a last deep collective breath together with the hands here. We're going to softly open our eyes now, but first with a downward gaze. Just take a moment. We've been really, really deep together. Take a moment to breathe and simply be in the energy that you've cultivated now with your eyes open. Breathing and perceiving out of new eyes. And I'm going to ask you, if you have a journal nearby, if there's anything you received from that journey, an awareness, an image, a symbol, or something that you are now willing to claim in truth to come into balance, to write that for yourself, lest it not slip away too quickly. Just to take a moment for yourself, to really honor yourself, to feel once again where you are between your masculine and feminine essence, where they're coming into balance, and your divine, primal, above and below, and where they're coming into balance. Just taking a moment, if it's in your joy, to also share. If you would share your medicine in the chat with others, and I say medicine in the highest sense of that word, like when we think about the solar cross that we visioned, it's also a Native American medicine wheel. It's in this way we share the good medicine, the beauty with each other. So anything that you received that you wish to share. I'm aware of being a little altered, and I'm going to invite us to take a drink of our water or our tea and just really come back into this body, time, space continuum together. Ah. And as I drink my tea, which is mostly water, just honoring the waters of our being again, and knowing that water is always changing, moving, flowing, that we are changing. We are such incredible beings, that we have the power with our alignment with our prayer, our intention, our will to enact really deep alchemical change. It's so beautiful to be here with you all, and I'm receiving some sweet messages in the chat. And my invitation is, from the inner journey, if there's anything that you'd be willing to share in your own experience, where your prayer has been to come back into balance, what you're aware of now in light of those practices and that journey that we just experienced together. And sometimes it's a little bit subtle, and sometimes it's very clear. Like, for instance, I know people here who I've watched on a path of deep transformation for years, that at one time I would say, even though they were born as female, were living completely in their masculine, and their bodies were breaking down, their lives were on overdrive. And through work like this, I have witnessed a softening that isn't a collapse. When we think about yin energy, we can really honor that there's so much power and beauty that our culture does not recognize. Our culture would have us just perform, push, go, do. So to come into balance between that yang and yin is so crucial for our health and our higher functioning. Some beautiful shares coming in. This is a private message to me, but I feel like it's for everyone. I experienced a sunflower opening and turning to face the sun, feeling the warmth of the sun. Beautiful. I often use the metaphor that each one of us is like a unique flower in the garden of the goddess. We are those flowers receiving the sun. The awakened priestess, Heidi, welcome, beloved. She said she was really scattered and ungrounded today, and this brought her back fully into her body. Blessed be, blessed be. Elizabeth, thank you. So beautiful and blessed. It feels though my external body is the raft floating gently atop the pure water of inner being. So very comforting. Thank you so much, beloved. Thank you for sharing. So powerful. Wendy, to truly enjoy and revel in the fruits of my labor in the past few months, to lie in excited rest for a while. Yes, that's the feminine, right? To actually integrate, to be able to rest in the stillness and the quiet. The feminine's always kind of flowing, but there's like this softening and integration and resting. Our culture doesn't, they don't support much. Beautiful. Thank you, beloveds. Alexis, I'm claiming an intention for more balance between work and play, more balance between doing and allowing, more balance between giving and receiving. I'm claiming my sovereignty in these dynamics. Blessed be. And I'm just holding up my hands of light, like amplifying your claiming and witnessing you. Beautiful, beloved. Yes, this equinox is about coming into balance within. And as we shift and balance these inner forces, our view of life and reality changes. When you see through a more balanced perception, you'll notice what we might call patterns of collapsed yin, which could feel like stuck, victimized, disempowered. When we bring those into balance, we will not feel the world is against us. We'll feel empowered. So your perceptions will change as we bring any overblown yang back into balance. We'll find, oh, I'm more sensitive to beauty, to the moment, to the subtle nuances when I'm not in go, go, go mode. So this is huge. It's not just on a physical level of health and sustainable practice. It's your whole consciousness that shifts. Beautiful. Layla, I'm used to connecting in the higher realms, white gold angelic energy. In this, I received within my body a red female angel that landed, grounded. Blessed be. What a gift. I feel that root chakra energy and that great mother energy in that female angel frequency. Beautiful. Marion, thank you for the beautiful connection into my body and essence for this equinox. You're so welcome. Jim, I've seen a tree of life overflow with light from below and above, feeding all. Wow. And I'm experiencing the blessing of this image, this symbol, as incredible frequency mana. This is what I mean by sharing our medicine with each other. It's so beautiful. Thank you. Agnes, I have a better understanding now of the vertigo attacks I have. Some parts of me do not feel safe here. Thank you for mentioning this pattern that is shared by so many, especially beings in spiritual communities. There's often such a focus on ascension. There's a focus on the upper chakras and transcending this realm or these parts of our embodiment that many of us feel overwhelmed by issues of power versus powerlessness. issues of safety or intimacy, fear of intimacy. All these lower chakra aspects are being invited to come on board in their full capacity so that we can live truly embodied, free, and bring all that divine light here. First, for the self to be fully here and present in love, as love, for love, and then for the blessing that is to the collective, for each one of us that walks in that balance, in that heart-centered balance above and below. We're like a beacon for others to know it's possible, to know that that can be a way of life now. So I hold you, Agnes, in this process of fully incarnating, fully grounding. I hold you in love and compassion, and I've been there in my own life. I know that feeling. Mary, I met my other self, welcoming home integration with great comfort, relief, and joy. Blessed be. Josephina, my journey activated my inner masculine in a calling to have the wounded masculine within me come forth to speak, to howl, to flex the bow and arrow, merging as both structure, stability, and the flexibility of the arrow, to drop the shield, to guide others to drop the shield, and to walk forth with open hearts. We can all feel the medicine of that. Blessed be. Thank you, beloved. So beautiful. I'm absolutely lit up reading your shares. Andrea, I visioned owl eyes peering through an electric purple beam of light. I feel I have rerouted into my personal journey and am able to embrace my changes happening in my life. I feel deep support and joy for my husband and his personal journey, and specifically the part of his journey that will not include me. I feel your sovereignty in that share. I feel your trust in your own center in that share. And I feel the medicine of that and what it is to have love and freedom in the same chalice. Blessed be this embodied wisdom that you are sharing. Thank you. Fatima, I felt being in a very deep meditation. The angels have been surrounding me. I'm so grateful. I feel I can create and have whatever I want within embodiment. Blessings be to all. Beautiful, beautiful. Jennifer, I came here to reach celestial glory. Self is unimportant. Self, okay, yeah, there's ways that we've been entrained to believe the self is only the ego self. In the beginning, you'll remember when the small self lifts its petals to the solar light, to the soul self, there's union and balance within the divine. We don't have to wait till after we die to know the divine. And I know we all have different religious imprinting. And my invitation is to imagine that you can walk with that unconditional love, that you can feel that love for yourself, not as a ego that is destructive, but as a divine and innocent soul, that you are loved. Josiane, my male energy has been more distorted this month than ever. As I'm reclaiming my divine feminine in full power and pruning what has not served me in this lifetime and many others, I saw the fire of my exalted masculine, accepting the calm and powerful nurturing waters of my divine feminine, hugging in unity, my yoni pearl. All is unconditional love and compassion. Beautiful, Josiane. Blessed be. So many gorgeous shares, everyone. Thank you so much. So I wanted to show a couple images. I'm going to share my screen, and hopefully this will work. A portion of screen. Let's see. No. There's a way to share. Let's see. I'm going to the basics. Okay, here we go. This is a wheel of the year. So the music might have stopped sharing, but here you can see the wheel of the holidays that our ancient ancestors have been celebrating for thousands of years. And if you look towards the far left, at least on my screen, you see Mabon, which is autumnal equinox. This is where we are in the wheel of the year. And as we move towards Hallows Eve, Samhain, and then to winter solstice, that is when the night is the longest and the days are the shortest all year. So you can feel where we are in the cycle of the entire turn of the wheel. Just taking a moment to take that in, to feel where we are. And I'm going to share, let me see, I'm coming back. I'm kind of learning how to work with screen sharing. There's another beautiful image that I want to share with you. Let's see if this comes through. Do you see the Vesica Pisces, the above and below? Yes, so I have to find it on my screen. As you take in the Vesica Pisces, you can feel into both the divine and that lower self, we'll call it the primal animal body self, that are coming into union at the sacred third in that almond-shaped center. That is the sacred third where we step into balance. So looking into the center of the Vesica Pisces and remembering your intention to come into balance, you can see how there's this sacred, it's almost like an eye opens there, the sacred center. And one of the practices that I love to do with the beings that are in the mystery school work with me is to look at when we have polarities in our life, when we have parts of ourself that we hold as being too much or not enough, when we feel out of balance. I'm going to just do one quick thing here. I'd like you to imagine that geometry as stepping from either end of the polarity into the sacred third where there's harmony. And this is a practice that is a little bit of a stretch for some, and it can come quite easily for others. I'd like you to feel into parts of yourself that you feel are out of balance in, let's say, either you're masculine or feminine. I'm too much this. So it could be, I'm too soft, I'm too ungrounded, I'm too ethereal, or it could be, I'm too rigid, I need control, I need to feel the practicality of things in order to engage, and just feel the polarities between the masculine and feminine. And just for yourself as a practice to feel into where you feel you're on one side or the other of that Vesica Pisces. So for instance, when I think back into my younger years, I felt like I was in a magical waking dream a lot of the time. I felt like I was continually experiencing synchronicities, and my life felt kind of mystical very often. That being said, it was very challenging for me to feel grounded in a place for very long, or in my finances, or even stability in relationships. I was in such a feminine swirl. I was too much in that feminine. And this is a bit, a judging of the feminine being overblown yin. So the opposite would be a fear usually. If I am too much in my feminine, I may be afraid of fully coming in to my masculine, because then I'm responsible. I need to be on and take care of business. So you can feel how the polarities played out in my life. So for yourself, feeling into any polarities still holding you captive, still keeping you caught in self-judgment or in a feeling of not being fully present. So just taking a moment, and you can write it in your journal if it's something very private, if it's tender, if you don't wish to share in the chat. But if you are willing to share, we can hold all of our shares in prayer, holding that you come into the balance point, and I can actually support you in that if you're willing to share. So really feeling for yourself, whether it's between your masculine, your feminine, your divine, primal embodiment, where you're most out of balance, and the willingness to be seen, to be vulnerable. Just feel if there's something that you could share as medicine for the whole. Yes, there will be a replay, and I can show the Wheel of the Year again if you want to see that while you're contemplating my question, really deeply contemplating. What I haven't been able to figure out is how to share an image and the music at the same time. So I think I'll change. Let's see if I do. Here's the Wheel of the Year. You can see there are also astrological symbols that rule over certain times of the year as well. Just in the zodiac as we turn around through the year. Oops. So feeling into the question as you take this in. And there may be a deepening for you around when you think about stepping through the eye of that Vesica Pisces into balance, recognizing that this is the path of freedom. When you are in balance, you are not at the effect, you are not in reaction, as that's usually a reflection of a part of self. When something is happening that we have a strong knee-jerk reaction to outside of the self, when something is showing up as very triggering, it's usually pointing to something in the self that is needing to still come into peace, come into balance, come into harmony. So feeling maybe things you judge. Layla says that she resonated with the example that I shared for myself. And I can feel that within, she can feel that within herself, that balance point being invited into more of her masculine in harmony. And we can feel how there are ways that we've watched people we might perceive as being very powerful play out some of the more overblown yang qualities. So there could be fear of power, fear of abuse of power. Our culture would present this kind of like patriarchal symbol of masculine power as being competitive, the biggest spaceship, rocket ship, like this ultimate boys with toys power. And when we feel into the light side of yang as powerful stewards, space holders, protectors, structure builders for the feminine, for life, for the innocent to thrive, we can feel into this rewiring around the masculine really coming into balance in ourselves and collectively, and how important that is, how absolutely important that is. And I feel it's important to say that there are many, many women with overblown yang, bullying, and very not in balance. So this is not about men or patriarchy being bad or at fault. This is about each of us coming into balance. And I want to talk about overblown yin. I think I mentioned a little bit about that. For men and women to feel, wow, even though I'm a man, I might, I'm doing an example, I might feel stuck in the muck. Like when you think of earth and water becoming murky and muddy and boggy and stuck, that's overblown yin. It's disempowered stagnation and feeling swirly and lost and stuck. When yin is healthy and balanced, it's flowing and creative. So once again, this isn't about gender at all. This is about these qualities coming into balance for all of us. Fatima, my feminine is pulling into doing nothing through a sickness. The masculine is pulling with fear of going back to work and not being able to rest. I do not want to overwork myself as before. Really holding that in prayer, beloved, that you find that balance point. There's many women that I work with, especially who've come out of corporate, they've come out of that dog eat dog man's world, whose adrenals are fried, and they've lost a lot of that magic and flow and intuition and feminine sensuality. And for women to be pushing in this system is very detrimental to their beings, their physical bodies, emotional bodies, mental bodies. So holding you and that prayer right now that you come into balance. May it be so. May it be so. Alexis, I am most out of balance in the arena of unconditional love. I feel that I'm very capable of giving unconditional love to others, and I feel some sticky spots in offering this unconditional love to myself and in receiving it from others. So, beloved, can you feel how that's actually your feminine, the vulnerability of not being in control, of being in the mystery and that receptive vessel to allow the tenderness and the vulnerability in, and to not have any safe holds and backup plans and one foot ready out the doors, and just to trust and in openness. So I'm holding your prayer that's inherent in this recognition of where you're out of balance, that you really practice receiving with more and more grace, courage, and vulnerability. Holding that for you, beloved. May it be so. May it be so. Oh. Wendy, out of balance and a resistance to my masculine, to money, to feeling tired from doing so much, even though I've loved what I've been doing. Almost like a too muchness of the chaotic feminine and a lack of structure. So I feel both ends of the yin and yang here, a resistance to that push, go, striving for money, and then this kind of fear of the chaotic feminine swirl sucking you in and no structure. So walking from both sides into the center to find that balance, where perhaps the way you work and the way that you create abundance is in harmony with your feminine essence more, with your delight, with your joy, with your creative inspiration, with your soul work, that you find where it fulfills you. This is the prayer I'm feeling embedded in this, that there is a sacred third. Just dreaming into that for yourself, journaling on that yourself, beloved. May it be so. Blessed be. Shalu, I feel the same, that I'm into too much feminine and scared when I try to bring balance to my masculine. I'm trying to attain balance and peace in my relationship with myself, and support and love myself to create freedom for myself, also financial freedom. Holding that prayer, feeling where the feminine is needing the inner masculine to create structure for that part, to hold that part, and to create that foundation of support from within first. And recognizing how in my own life, the outpicturing of my reality changed as I changed on the inside. So the more that we come into that balance point with ourselves and love ourselves throughout the feelings, the process, the more that the world that we live in appears to change and support that. It's an inside job that then reflects in the people we encounter and dream up and the opportunities we dream up. It's quite amazing what shifts in the outpicturing of our lives. I feel like I could almost invite Alexis, who I've known very well for a long time, to speak about how the outpicturing of her life has changed immensely as she's embracing more and more of her feminine. Can I use you as an example, Alexis? Okay, I don't know if you want to share. I can share a little bit. Alexis spent years feeling like she was working for the man, and it was like an uphill run, if I could use that metaphor, just constantly working harder and harder in a competitive energy and feeling like she was never enough. And through her working to love herself, and it's still a work in progress, as you know, she shared even today, to receive love, to give herself that unconditional love first. I've seen layers and layers of shedding the armor and believing her creativity, her vision, her dream in her way, and the feminine way, her sacred offering is enough. And now she's stepping into being her own boss, with many beings supporting her vision and her creativity. So I've seen the miracles happen from this coming into balance. I don't know if there's anything else you would add, either in chat or, but that's been a joy to witness. Craig, I feel out of balance in the sense of being trusting of others and that there's safety in allowing myself to be seen and experienced while being powerful, or whole and powerful. Okay, I think that's whole. Yes, beautiful, brother. Trust, that's very much that second chakra. That's very much inhabiting that into me see, to allowing yourself to be authentic and present with vulnerability in your feminine essence, and recognizing you're already whole and empowered in your vulnerability. We have such a misperception in our culture that vulnerability means weakness or somehow being hurt. And you do take a risk that you may feel rejection or hurt. That being said, in that vulnerability, a portal opens to so much love, to so much power, true power as love, the willingness to risk, to be seen. And it takes both our masculine and our feminine essence to do so. So I'm holding your prayer, holding you in that edge walking, that discomfort, and that trust. May it be so. Cynthia, I have the ability to respond with an open heart, with more compassion and acceptance, and be more in witness presence and detached from needing to control the outcome, holding space for myself and others. Oh, blessed be. This is that balance point in the Sacred Heart. I feel in your share that neutrality, that equanimity, that activated witness self that's holding all parts in compassion. Blessed be. Andrea, too reactive, too hard, not showing enough empathy, transitioning to having a voice so others do not fill a void with their voices for me. Powerful share, sister. When we're in our collapsed feminine, often we swallow down our truth and our knowing and shut down our throat chakras and do not risk speaking up, transmitting, emanating our frequency. And often the feeling is being unseen, unheard, and victimized, or not enough, disempowered. So as you claim that having a voice, I feel there's a way that the hardness and the reactivity can fall away in the trust of your voice, in the recognition of your own self-honoring. May that come into balance, that voice in alignment with love. Josephina, I've been playing in the divine feminine spaces for the past 2 years to reclaim my inner feminine, so much now that I'm calling forth my inner masculine to meet her. He's recognizably immature, unready, and distorted, yet also aware and on his own journey of reclamation, which involves the brotherhood, the tribe, feeling connected to the inner masculine of others on the path in camaraderie of an ethos of interconnectedness, in protection of her, Mama Gaia, and her people. Blessed be. Loving these shares. Thank you so much, beloveds. We're almost to the end of our time, and I'm really just lit up and overflowing with the beauty of your hearts. Whew. Alexis, and all the material things I was trying to force through the masculine energy now are arriving through embracing the feminine, the career, the relationship, the home, the empowerment, and more. Hoot, hoot. We're just like celebrating you in this moment. Blessed be. Josiane, I've been out of balance, feeling afraid to be engulfed by too much community focus and not enough support for my individual self. Learning and believing that being responsible for myself first with love and compassion will also flourish relationships with others with maximum ease and grace. Holding that prayer with you, sister. Really feeling that. The metaphor of putting on the oxygen mask and the life vest for the self first before we're out there as light workers in our communities. This balance point, this self-love. Let us bring our hands of light back to our heart center together. And I'm just going to offer the simple mudra, just offering from my heart to yours, the one heart, breathing in the support and the love of community for each of us, taking it in. I'm going to invite, if you want to put it in gallery view, it's really beautiful, and just offering again from that center point, that balance point, that here our cup overflows, that as we fill ourselves up first, like the archetypal tarot cups, they're always standing up and overflowing. They're not emptied out to the last drip. They overflow like fountains. Just offering that. May you be well, and may I be well. That reciprocity from our center in our sovereignty, that we can overflow this ripple into the collective, into the world, not from an empty cup, from a full cup. So my closing prayer is that we dive deeper and deeper into the heart of love. I'm going to be offering this series on all of those turns of the wheels, this series of master classes to support us to live embodied love, to live it, to be it, to walk it, and to fill our cups, to nurture and nourish ourselves for all the good work that we do out in the world that isn't even about the jobs we have, the titles we carry, but the very frequency we share. You matter. Your being is beautiful and important. And that love that you're willing to give to yourself by coming and filling your cup here, it makes a difference to your families, to your friends, to your communities, and to the collective, so that we can all come into balance. So I bow deeply. I thank you all so much for coming. There's definitely going to be a replay. You can review, you can do the practices again, you can take the journey again as a practice to fill your cup. And I send you only love. So much love from my heart to yours. If you want to just say goodbye. Oh, it's so beautiful. I can see a few beings who are here that I didn't see on video yet. Just loving to see you all. If you want to pop in and wave goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. So much love. Oh, love you. Have a beautiful fall equinox. Really amplify what you're grateful for. Continue to feel that harvest. Blessed be. Bye for now.